Hello, you beautiful badasses. I'm the Bad Janny. Today I want to start out looking out here. I see you there, and I'm here. And I want to ask a question. Why? Why am I up here on stage and you're out there in the audience? You're probably thinking, why the hell is she asking us why she's up on the stage? She probably should know that. I do. We'll get to it. Don't worry. Don't get it twisted. Okay? First, though, I want to make sure that you don't get drowsy and fall asleep because you just had lunch. So I want to know, out of these three choices, you're going to raise your hand when I hit the one that's true for you. Okay? I'm up here and you're out there because, well, you didn't apply to speak. You don't want to speak. You didn't apply to speak. Who's that true for? Okay. That was kind of cool, but not really badass. So if you could do this, that'd be awesome. Yeah, there you go. All right, second choice, behind door number 2. All right. You applied to speak, but you were not selected this time. For who's that true? Cool. All right. Third choice. You don't think you're good enough at what you do to teach it, or you don't think you're a good enough speaker to stand on stage. Anyone? And it's all right, yeah? Raise your hand. All right. I would say that we are all here because we all think, I'm not quite there yet. And I know that there's somebody that I can learn from. There's a woman that I'm going to be able to network with. There's a woman that I am going to be able to go to her workshop. She's going to teach me something I don't know. And that's going to help to get me where she is. Yes? Yeah. Say yes? Yes. Oh, there we go. So much better. Wake up. I'm going to get you some coffee. All right. Those women, I know something about them. Those women. I'm going to tell you 3 things about those women. All right? You ready? Those women, I think we can agree, are at the top of the mountain or the summit. Play on words, huh? Okay. Those women at the top of the mountain, there are 3 things that are true about them. The first 2, you're probably going to agree with, and you probably already know, but the third one you don't. And that is why they're there, and maybe you're not quite there yet. Are you ready to hear what that is? Yes. I'm going to tell you in a minute. I got to tell you the first 2 first. All right, the first one, those women at the top of the mountain, they deserve to be there. Yeah? Yeah. They deserve to be there. They've earned the right to be at the top of the mountain. We can agree that they are good enough to be there. Second thing you need to know, probably already knew this, they didn't fucking fall there. You know that because you know they had to climb because you're climbing too. Yes? Yes. All right, the third one. Secret, but I guess I will let you know. All right. The women at the top of the mountain not only had to be good enough to get there, but they had to be bad enough too. They know that. I know that. Now you're going to know that too. And that might be the difference between where you are now and where you're going. So the question I will ask you all throughout this little chat is, are you bad enough to get to the top of the mountain? For the rest of this talk, I want you to think about bad as being all caps. You know, like when you're pissed off and you're like, meh, all caps, bad, B-A-D. Well, what the hell does that mean? I'll tell you later. But first, we're going to talk about good. Being good enough. All right? Being good. That's in your DNA. That when you were little girls, and I'm going to tell you a story about this, you're probably going to recognize it. When you're a little girl, you're taught to be a good little girl. Yes? Yeah, all of you, or just some of us? You're like, no, I was taught to be, okay, no. Okay. We're taught to be good girls. So when we're little, and this is true for me, when I was little, I learned that being a good girl meant that you did what you were told and you were nice. Okay. And when I did what I was told and I was nice, I was rewarded. Yeah, Barbies. Whatever. You're like, but maybe they look like Bratz dolls in your case, Terry. I don't know. No, sorry, Terry Jenny. Also, when I was a little girl, okay, I had an imaginary friend. Well, actually, I had two imaginary friends because I'm an overachiever. So, my imaginary friends, they were twin sisters, and their names were the Good Janny and the Bad Janny. Don't ask me why it wasn't Jenny. I don't know. It was never Jenny, it was always Janny, so now you know. So whoever asked that question, there you go. It was always Janny. All right. So I understood as a little girl that the Good Janny did exactly what she was supposed to. And she was very nice. And the Bad Janny, maybe not. Not so much. And I had a really good time telling my older sister, Lisa, the Bad Janny was being really mean and you should punch her. And so my sister would run over there, and she's like super tiny little thing, and she'd flail her fist. I'm like, what are you doing? That's the Good Janny. The Bad Janny went over there. It was great fun. I'd run her all over the place. Good times. Okay, so even this big, we know Good Janny and Bad Janny. Yours might have a different name, but you had them too, yes? Yeah. All right. Well, our parents started out telling us that, right? We know what it's like to be a good girl. Great, but when we get a little older and we go to school, our social circle will tell us what it is to be a good girl. And what that looks like is you need to be agreeable. You need to agree to wear the things that are acceptable. You need to blend in with the hot chicks. Maybe not the hot chicks, but the popular ones at least. All right? And you need to like who they want you to like. And you need to say what they want you to say, even if you don't really agree. Why? Because that gets you a seat at the cool kids' table. And do you know what happens if you don't? If you're not that, then what happens? If your Bad Janny comes out, what happens? Head cheerleader punches you in the face. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's boys. Boys are taught to be physically aggressive, physical aggression. Girls are not taught that. Nope. We're taught something much more dangerous. We are taught to be relationally aggressive. And what that looks like is this. You can't sit with us. And not only that, but we're going to tell everybody you know that you can't sit with us. We're going to make sure that we ruin your relationships. We're going to make sure that we ruin your reputation. That's relational aggression. And relational aggression has been amplified. Where do you think? Thank you. Can we say it again louder? Damn it, that's true. Yes. And the result of that has been young women and girls with suicidal ideations that have increased 60% in the last 10 years. Why? Because it's fucking painful to not fit in. But I will tell you right now that if you keep focusing on just being good enough to fit in, top of the mountain is going to be awfully hard to get to, because the women who are there know that you have to be bad enough to get there. Now I'm going to tell you what that B-A-D, bad, all caps means, okay? B stands for bold, A stands for authentic, and D, dynamic. But I have some definitions that I'm going to throw at you that you might not really, that's not what you're thinking. Doesn't mean what you think it does. All right. B, bold. Are you brave enough to be bold? And what I mean by that is not, are you brave enough to speak up? Are you brave enough to say no? Are you brave enough to set a boundary? Table stakes. Bold means that you aren't thinking about what you would do if you know you couldn't fail. I want to know what you would do if you knew you were going to fail repeatedly and in public. and that your circle was going to shame you for doing it. And if it's big enough deal, if you're bold enough, you stand up, you brush yourself off, you keep your head high and your middle finger higher, and you keep going. All right? Are you bold enough? Are you brave enough to be that bold? Because that bold, that's your purpose. That's your mission. Your mission is that purpose activated. And everyone has one, at least. It's your divine assignment to find it. Only you can fill it. See, we get kind of messed up because we do things like we're just going to copy what somebody else is doing. But if you do that, you're not the only one in that category. You're kind of like a little sloppy second. I'm just kidding, not that. All right, I'm kidding, not that. Okay, but you're always going to be second best there. Why would you do that? And that leads me to 2, the second part, A. Are you audacious enough to be authentic? I don't mean hashtag authentic. Oh my God, I'm so authentic. Stop. I just really need to be authentic right now. Not that. Not that. Do you know why? It's because if you are truly authentic and bold, you know that there isn't a label, authentic, that describes you. You wouldn't diminish yourself to one label ever. You are made up of so much that there can't possibly be another you. Authentic means all of that. And that also means embracing your good Janny and your bad Janny. Because what makes you you, especially in this space, is unassailable. There's no competition. You're the only one. It's a hell of a niche. I'm the only fucking one that does this. Awesome. Winning. Yes? Can you say hashtag winning? I thought so. It was kind of messy, but I'll take it. All right. So the third part, D, you're going to think, I'm going to be determined. Yeah, well, of course, but you need to be determined enough to be dynamic, to understand what that means. Then you have to know that things are going to change. Shit's going to go sideways. The women that are speaking in the panel later, and when we talk about resilience, guess what? Those women know shit went sideways. And they kept going. Are you bad enough to do that? Or do you surrender, give up? All right? I don't think you would. I think you'd keep going. But you need to know that you're going to evolve and change. That's what being dynamic means, evolving. It's not the strong who survive. It's those who are able to adapt. Can you be that? Are you bad enough? Yes. Yes. I would like to hear that again. Are you bad enough? Yes. Hell yeah. Bad enough to get to the top of that mountain. Bad enough to get to the summit. You'll be tested, because I'll tell you right now, as soon as you declare it, it's going to be disrupted. I said I was bad enough, and something's going to come in and you'll be like, shit. Dig down, find that bad Janny. Put on your fucking leather jacket and go, I'm here, I'm still going. Try it, I'm good. All right. Before I finish up here, I want to say that it's not just important to your success that you do this, but there are other women who are watching you. And there are little girls on social media who are watching you too. And if all there is hashtag follow. That's doing damage to your opportunities and also not helping them. So what I will ask is that you be bad enough to be an example, an inspiration, that you embrace your bad and your good, because that's what's going to catapult you to the top of the mountain. You'll know when you get there because the other women up there, they've got your back. They're not competing. They want you to win too. That's being at the top of the mountain. And that's being an example. So be bold. Be you. And realize that by embracing your bad might just be the best way to be a force for good in the world.